As a child of 7 years old in 1955, I can remember when one of our neighbors got a television. Granted, it may have been a year or two earlier than that, so let's go with 1955. Like most kids, I was attracted to Saturday morning cartoons, Mr. Kangaroo, and Howdy Doody Time. Stuck in my brain all these years has been the chant, "It's Howdy Doody Time. It ain't worth a dime, so turn to Channel 9 and watch Frankenstein." However, I'm proud to say, my young interest moved well beyond the normal adolescent mindset. I loved The Ed Sullivan Show, What's My Line with Gary Moore. Industry on Parade was one of my favorites, but I feel at the top of my list was This Is Your Life with Ralph Edwards. Productive people's lives have always been of great interest to me. I know the lives that my best friends have lived. That's why I have so much respect for them. They are unselfish giving people. There lies the reason for my creation of a younger version of the digital artiste as my replacement for Ralph Edwards in my video creation version of This Is Your Life. My two grandsons are 19 and 21 now, and they serve as my motivation to get up each day and see if I can make a difference in this wild and woolly world we live in. They were the motivation behind my entry into the world of YouTube with my The Undertaker Navigator channel, where I now have posted over 50 videos in my 9-month involvement in that endeavor. I do not want to see them ever have to go to war. War is sometimes a necessary evil, but it is evil, and often merciless, particularly against the innocents trapped by its toxicity. But I'm not ashamed to admit that I want to be remembered as accurately as I can present it. Of course, I will be biased in my presentation, and I am not ashamed of that either. I think I know myself quite well. I know I have flaws that I probably will never fix. I know I've been stingy with my time, but not my other resources. I truly believe I've been a positive influence in those closest to me, and rarely, if ever, a negative influence on anyone. That's not my style. That's not how I was raised by parents from the greatest generation this earth has ever known. If Tom Brokaw ever got anything right, it was his book, The Greatest Generation. The digital artiste platform is based on bringing joy into people's lives and particularly one's own family's experiences. Am I the only person who would like to be remembered as truthfully as possible? Maybe not, if I had been a miserable SOB, treating my fellow human beings like dirt. We know most of us do not fall into that category. A large majority of our population lives and has lived productive, fruitful, and positive lives that should be encoded in a video presentation comparable to those episodes produced by Ralph Edwards and his British compatriots primarily in the 1950s and very early 60s. What better gift can you think of than presenting a mother or a father or a brother or a sister or a fabulous aunt or uncle or just a very good friend than a video, honoring their life experiences, and particularly how they treated others? I don't think I'll get any business from anyone wanting to tell an ugly, degrading story about anyone else, for if I do, I will refuse to produce it. Our ability to gather information on anything or anyone is unparalleled in history. The internet, the Google search engine, and now the new AI tools have given tremendous power to the individual to accumulate a bank of knowledge about a single subject or a single person. I am offering a unique product and service. Nothing I offer other than one game I have created can be mass marketed. As a professional tennis coach, instructor, and trainer, my concentration was on the individual, not on teaching groups that could have doubled or tripled my hourly compensation. My desire was to make each person who came to me for instruction and coaching and training the best they could be. My relationships with my students was pure gold and platinum for me, and I think the production of these individual life stories will be as rewarding for me as much for my future clients. If you want to get me irritated and almost angry, then waste my time. My father taught me our most limited resource will always be our time on this planet. His lesson was, don't waste other people's most valuable resource. That is a terrible thing to do. So the sales pitch is simple. You decide how long you want your video to be, who the subject of the video will be, and how much time and effort will you put into supplying me with the information and materials enabling me to produce a quality product for you. The better the client does in supplying me with quality and timely information and materials, the less time I will have to spend in producing a meaningful product for them. My YouTube experience has taught me if I am creating all the graphics, doing all the research, and putting it all together in a video, that requires a 12-to-1 ratio of production time versus final video product time. My time is worth $50 an hour, so if the client does zero work, a 30-minute video will cost $300. 30 minutes of video will require 360 minutes of production time if the client does nothing but the minimum. 360 minutes is 6 hours x 50 HR, 300. My standard rate is $200 for a 30-minute video, $250 for 45 minutes, $300 for a full hour, $400 for 90 minutes, and $500 for 2 hours. The first 10 clients get 50% off through September 2025, or the first 10 takers that engage my services before the date deadline. I am starting with my first This Is Your Life video about myself, because it is my desire for my grandsons to truly know who I am and have been in my life. Some good old ego coming out. You betcha. My hope is that it will also serve as a good example of my production capabilities. Let my avatar self host your life video.